Many years ago, when I started bartending, I was technically not old enough at the time, but I think I maybe looked old enough, so I got hired. And for a few years, I was bartending without really having this certification to bartend. And it was interesting because I learned a whole bunch. But then at some point, I got excited about going to bartending school. Myself and a friend from school decided, let's go to bartending school. Let's try it out, see what it is. I remember mentioning it to one of my older friends who had been working basically full time at the bar, and he said, "Why bother? You don't need it to bartend." And it made me think. I was like, "Yeah, like, do I need to go through this effort?" And the truth of the matter is that I'm not the type to just get by and just do what you need to do. I want to be good at what I'm doing. But this reflects a lot of people's belief when it comes to exercise. They feel like, if they just walk around at work, that's enough. They feel like if they just don't eat drive-through food, that's good enough. They feel like if they just sleep, 4 or 5 hours, that's good enough. They feel like if they just drink a few coffees, that's good. Like, there's a difference between harmful and optimal. There's a whole gray area in between. Like, it's possible to exist in this area and still get by. It's possible to be a bartender without learning the bartending school skills. But if you want to be optimal, if you want to have a longer life, if you want to be vigorous, live on your own, if you don't want to have any issues with it, reduce the injuries, feel great about everything, feel confident, that doesn't exist on this end of the spectrum. That doesn't exist on just getting by. You need to do something to be a little bit more optimal, because that's an optimal state. So that means that you do maybe have to learn a little bit more. That means you have to put a little bit more effort. That means you have to sometimes make sacrifices to get to your goal. And those people might not understand it. Those people just getting by, maybe they feel like they're doing something. They show up at the gym, they just walk on a treadmill for a half hour. Are we going to knock them and say it's useless? No. Because that is much better than being at home and not doing it at all. So again, remember, this is a spectrum. There's that whole area of gray in between. But is that going to line up with what their expectation for the results are? Not likely. So you go to bartending school, you learn and you excel, and then you get to another level and you start to do something else. You get pulled to a different location, etc., etc. That person remained where they were. This is the mindset I want you to have. It's not like what's wrong with it. Remember I said that? It's not what's wrong with it. It's what's right. There's nothing wrong with not having the skills to bartend. You could probably get by. There's nothing wrong with just walking on the treadmill and just doing the bare minimum to get by. But what's right with it? What's optimal about it? Will that get you to the goal that you want? And the answer is most likely a resounding no. You got to put a little bit more effort. And I think you guys understand that, but I want you guys to sort of understand what you're capable of, what you might be thinking, how you're thinking, to give you a little bit of insight. And this will help you to get other people around you to buy in as well. But sometimes it takes learning a little bit more, putting a little bit more effort, focusing a little bit more, tightening up just a little bit more to break through and get to where you want to get to the optimal situation. But you don't get there by just doing enough, by get bare minimum and convincing yourself that you're doing something, doing things to check it off, if we want to call it that. You guys know the big rocks. I want you to excel with those, add in the things as you have to, and you will get to your goal, because you guys are not the type to just get by and just do enough. You guys are the rock stars that will get to your goal, and you're just one day closer today.